Hey, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about the Mora Companion. I haven't covered many Mora knives. I think I did a video on a 510 a while back. But actually I have a lot of Mora knives. I have not only several of these companions, but the 510. I've got several of their carving knives and the curved like spoon carving knives and some others. So Mora is a very large part of my knife community here. But let's talk about this companion. It's available in several different configurations. Like I said, I have several of these. There's one in every one of my packs. And every vehicle has one in it. I keep one just about, available just about wherever I go. So, very useful knife, very affordable knife. Just a fantastic product all along. So let's put it on the workbench and we'll take a look at it. If you hear some crunchy sounds in this video, it's Riley, my Jack Russell, chewing on a hoof to give him something to kind of keep him occupied this morning. Anyway, before we get started, if you would, please click on the like and subscribe buttons, and let's get started. And here we go, the Mora Companion. Really a great knife from Mora. Really a usable design, and we'll talk about what I really like about it here in a second, but my Mora story actually starts with this Mora. This one I purchased at a woodcraft store here in Oklahoma City many years ago, and it's old enough that you can see it says Frosts on it, and it's laminated steel, so you can see that there's actually a center hard layer of steel, and surrounded by a softer steel on the outside. So that laminated steel gives it some durability with still a very hard center core, and Scandi grind. This was the first Scandi ground knife that I had ever owned, and I bought this, took it on a Boy Scout camp out, and the other leaders were kind of in awe of not only the Scandi grind and the laminated steel, but the way this thing performed. It was just kind of the big deal of that camp out. No one had ever really, none of our scout leaders had ever seen anything quite like that, and I hadn't either. It was kind of a new thing for me. So when I saw my first companion at a sporting goods store, a Sportsman's Warehouse in Salt Lake City, and the price was so affordable, I just had to buy it, and that was, I think, this one. And this is a stainless steel, and it's the standard weight blade, not the heavy duty. And I love the blade profile and the shape and the handle, the way it felt, and it was very affordable. So I bought that, and then later on at a gun show, a guy had on his table a pair of these companions, both carbon steel, one heavy duty, one standard weight. And you can see the difference in the blade thickness. The heavy duty is definitely thicker. The profile is much the same. However, the handles, the heavy duty handle, the one here on top is a little bit broader, top to bottom, and a little thicker. Not much on the thickness, but you can definitely see the difference in the handle. Both of them, though, the handle is very comfortable. You've got a plastic handle with a rubber overmold, very grippy, very comfortable. Just about any configuration you want to hold it, it will be comfortable and usable in your hand. And the rubber overmold makes it very easy to hang on to, even if you get it wet. So it's just a really nice knife to use and hang on to. So I ended up with those three, and then ended up buying a couple more at a Tractor Supply near us here, and just like I say, I've got them in every one of my packs, hunting packs or just emergency packs, and every vehicle. And this heavy duty is the one that I probably use the most. And if you compare them all, this one you'll see has been sharpened more than the others. And I've got a couple of these that have been put in packs. They come very sharp from the factory, and they've literally just been put away in those packs and not really used or resharpened. Just haven't needed them yet. But these are so affordable that to me they're just something that's really good to have. Put in those places where you might need them, so they're available to you. Now, the other thing I really like about this knife is the sheath. For a plastic sheath, it's just really well thought out. The knife snaps in pretty firmly, not going to fall out. It's got a nice, and this is a complaint I had about the Finhawk, but it's got a nice little ramp here that you can put your thumb on to pop the knife out. It holds it pretty firmly, but this makes it easy to withdraw. Does have a drain hole in the end, and the belt hook on it is really great. So it's got, you know, a hook on the on this part of it, but also there's kind of a bump there that the two kind of interlock together. And so when you put this on a belt, it stays on your belt. You can pull the knife out without it, you know, without the whole sheath coming off your belt. And so from a utility standpoint, the sheath is just very nice. I haven't felt any need to make a leather sheath or do something different. Now, I didn't really intend to get all of them in olive drab green. That somehow seemed to happen organically. Every time I ran across one, that was the color that was available, and I'm okay with that color. So I think all told I have around 5 of these. But like I say, they're so affordable that to me it just made sense to place them in places that I thought they might be useful, and you know, that's why I have so many. Now, I was talking about the things I like about the blade profile. The blade on this does not have a tremendous amount of upsweep, and that is, for me, that is my preference. This has a little bit of a drop point and then a slight upsweep. To me, that's a very useful combination. I recently did a review on the Finhawk. Getting this thing out of the sheath is a challenge. And I like the knife in general. It's got a straight spine, but a lot more upsweep. Now, I guess if you were skinning animals or something, maybe that upsweep would be more useful. But for day-to-day tasks, when camping and in the outdoors, I find the straighter blade of this one, you know, with less upsweep, to be more useful for carving. Like if you're, you know, whittling or carving or making utensils or implements for camp, I find this shape to be more useful. So that's just a personal preference for me, but I think that's probably a lot of, you know, what makes the Companion so popular. You know, great blade, great, you know, handle, nice sheath, very affordable, just a great combination. And Mora uses some really good steel. I think the stainless steel is a 12C27, if I can recall. And the carbon steel, they don't actually state a number, but they do say that their carbon steel is 1% carbon, which puts it in the family of a 1095 steel. So they hold an edge really well. They're easy to sharpen, and just a great all-around combination. So it's a knife that's really hard to beat, especially at this price, the price that you can get them. I think I've paid as little as $12 or $13, and as much maybe as close to 20, but never paid really very much for any of these. So anyway, that's the Mora Companion. I think performance-wise, it's a great performer. They're affordable, great handle. They seem very durable. And it's a knife I don't think you can beat, for especially for that price. Well, there you go, the Mora Companion. Just a great knife. I love the shape of the profile of the blade. The handle, super comfortable. Just a great usable knife. I think that really speaks to why they're so popular. I have one of these, like I say, in every pack, every vehicle. I have several of them, and they serve me well. So really enjoy having them. If this is a knife you don't already have, it might be something you want to think about adding to your collection. And you may end up like me with several of them. Anyway, if you have any thoughts or questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment. I always appreciate it when you do that. And as always, thanks for watching.